TV10. If they don't hang up on me. Alright. Oh, did they hang up? Are you there? Hello? They finally hung up. Wow. Huh. Let me see if I can get that to go. The last call came to you from...
The last call came to you from 606-691-4088. To return the call, press 1. Otherwise, click...
To return the call, press 1. I'm hoping this is going out. Let's see what happens. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. 1 ring-a-dingy. 2 ring-a-dingy.
We're sorry. Your last call was either out of the area or marked private and cannot be handled by this service.
Well, I'll just dial it. I'll just dial it manually. I believe I recognized some of the voices there. I believe I recognized some of the voices that might. It's a 691 number, so. 4088. Do 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 do. And we got a ghost call. Let's see if I think I recognize the voice there. I think he must have. See, now why would it say that the *69 wouldn't work? And they're probably going to charge me 75 cents for that *69. And you heard it didn't work. And now the phone's just ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. And I was talking with somebody, and I heard it chime in, and then it beeped like twice on the call waiting. And then they got a call at the same time I got a call. Their power went out. They called me back. Then this thing, after I hang up with them, I'm getting the audio from this call. And I don't know if you heard part of it or not, because I'll have to review the tape here, but it went out over the air. I'm putting it out over the air right now. You can see Camera Wars if you're watching. This is the weird phone glitches, I think, because of the domestic surveillance that's going on. We got the tally light that says it's recording, so. I don't think it showed up on. It didn't show up on caller ID. Let's see the weather. Gordon, isn't that right, Gordon? Okay, I've got audio. Audio is working. I just want to make sure I was having to look at my audio meter. They're not going to answer the phone, are they? But anyway, the *69 wouldn't work. Let's see if that'll happen again. The last number came to you. No. Well, now it's working.
We're sorry. Your last call was either out of the area or marked private and cannot be handled by this service. We're sorry. The last call was either out of the area or marked private and cannot be handled by this service.
Yeah, but it's on the caller ID. How's it marked private? It's on the caller ID there. I can hit redial. Oh, no, I lost it. Is it going to do it again?
We're sorry. Your last call was either out of the area.
Okay, I wrote it down though. 691. Your last call was either out there or private. It gave it to me one time, and that's it. I cut the audio off there so you didn't hear the last 4 digits. But you just heard the touchtones, so I'm not as smart as I look. There's some people make me out to be, so yeah. Hacker could easily get that if you can't see what I just dialed there. They're not going to answer the phone. Anyway, I think I recognized one of the voices as a local caller. ringing and ringing and ringing my phone while I'm talking to somebody else. It only beeped twice, and then the star 69 doesn't work. This call was either out of the area or marked private, but it gave me the number one time because you heard that, and I cut the audio off. They're not going to answer the phone. I wonder if they was watching. I heard other telephone numbers. I heard other telephone numbers from the TV that they were watching. And by the time I got in here, I heard them click the phone. I wonder if they're on the phone with somebody else. Anyway, stay tuned. I may be back with part 2 of this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I broke the camera there. There's me on TV talking about this. Anyway. Hurricane Gordon. Isn't that right, Gordon? Are you going to wash Nashville clean? Oh, they need baptized. Gordon's going toward Nashville. Right there. Get my muggly ugg off the screen, and you can see Gordon. Isn't that right, Gordon? You ain't going crazy. It's all in your head, right? What is that Diamond Rio song? Should I sing a parody of it so I don't get hit with the Digital Millennium Copyright Act? We never walked on the moon, Elvis ain't dead. You ain't going crazy, it's all in your head. Isn't that right, Gordon? That's Hurricane Wannabe. Tropical Depression, formerly Tropical Storm Gordon. And it's wobbling toward Little Rock. Maybe it'll wash Little Rock clean. Little Rock some people in Little Rock may need baptized if they're still alive from the days of Iran Contra and Operation Scatback version 2. I don't know. D's on West Main, downhill from the courthouse. Call 780-7400. In Globe, you'll find a fixture of over 5 decades that generations of customers trust for their tire and auto needs. From farm equipment to the family car and all in between, you can get what suits your needs on US 16 Globe, west of Olive Hill, east of Moorhead. Call and check their prices, 286-4484 or 1-800-400-4485.
It's round, rubber, and rolls. We've got it at Porter Tire.
EPA-approved mulch, too, for playground equipment and landscapes. Bypass Pond has home defense hardware and hunting rifles and buying many things of value on 32 West. That's Flemingsburg Road or the Connector Road. They're open Monday through Saturday. Cashing local payroll checks. Easy phone number to remember is 780-PAWN. Search Bypass Pond on Facebook or see bypasspond.com, the webpage. 780-PAWN or 780-7296.
And this isn't really like a crystal ball type thing there. This is just based on the information that...
Oh, so okay, just to stop the rumors that you do not have a crystal ball that you got from the U.S. Navy, right?
No, we haven't got... No, we're not there.
Oh, you haven't got that far. They don't have it. I did hear the Air Force could grow chicken egg-sized artificial diamonds, though, in some weird gas chambers from some company in Florida. They're like,
well, there's some truth to that, and the people that are in the natural diamond industry are freaking out because they're just about the same quality as the natural boys. And
they can make them in different colors, pink, blue, whatever.
Yep, all that. Chocolate, anything you want.
Chocolate, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's a high-pressure gas chambers or something. I think they came up with that as a way for Ronald Reagan's Star Wars directed energy stuff. They need like crystal pure carbon lasers.
Remember what was it there? Star Trek, crystal dilithium, dilithium crystal.
Yeah, dilithium. They need them for the warp engines. That's what it is.
Yeah, you betcha.
I better hush. They'll come and get me. How do you know this? We need to waterboard you at Camp X-Ray. Anyway, we went off. We've already went sideways, Gene. I've noticed it's dang hot. I heard somebody earlier today say, "Whoa, it's hot outside." I was on the phone with them, and they took Corda's phone outside.
Yeah.
They were shocked.
I refer to a day like today as pretty close to the steam bath because it was pretty humid. Dew point stayed around 70, 71 all day, and even though the sun was dimmed, it was hot.
Yeah, the Weather Rock's hanging out in an overcast sky, and they issued
heat advisory for Lewis County. It didn't get any rain, but I guess Maysville toward Cincinnati and down to Lexington got some rain this afternoon.
Right, and the heat index here today, everything that I saw on my chart showed was 97 heat index.
Well, thank goodness it's down closer to 90 with the actual temperature maybe about 84. My thermometer here at the station says 86. I don't know. What do you got? What's your weather rock hanging out at?
I got 85.
Close enough.
That's right.
Not bad for this old thermometer with a thermal coupler. No batteries required.
Right. Now, over the last several hours, since about 3:15, I noticed thunderstorms just popping up, and a massive thunderstorm just to the north of us, and it's all going into Ohio now, and we just missed it.
Yeah, somebody called me earlier today and said they saw it, and I said, well, and I checked the radar, and I'm like, nope, that's to the west of us. But there's something in Bath County around Sharpsburg headed for Flemingsburg right now.
Yes, there is. They're self-developing, and as we go through tomorrow into Friday, we'll start seeing more almost everywhere. And then Saturday will be a little bit more calmer but cooler, and then more showers coming in Sunday into Monday with that cold front coming in.
Yeah, barring any air bombs and cosmic rays. For anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, I'll bring this up real quick. I'm just, it's amazing. You found me here in the local TV, and you know of quite a bit of stuff that I've talked about over the years on weather weirdness, and we're kind of comparing notes here. And I'm just, it's so cool to have a name for this stuff that's not conspiracy theory, scalar weaponry stuff, or whatever it is people are trying to call it. I've got somewhere here 3 screenshots of these air bombs.
Right, and it's possible it could be related to cosmic rays. I mean, they've been intensifying since the late 90s, and especially over the last 10 years.
Yeah, some stuff I read in the late 90s said that the cosmic rays, since accurate measurements on average over the course of the space age, are up a total of about 50%. But I think that was in the late 90s. So
right, and it's gone up a lot since then.
Well, another 19%. Here's these air bombs. If anybody wants to watch this animation, I'll move my weather rock out of the way. But there's one down close to Chattanooga, one south of Nashville. I think there's one over Bowling Green, one over around I-75 at Corbin maybe, and then south of Lexington. Now, I'd initially thought these were rising out in some kind of, they have a noise cone around the radars.
Right.
And initially I thought, well, that's what that is, it's some kind of heat, urban heating, and this is the global warming people never talked about it. And I thought, well, you'd think they'd jump right on that.
Right,
and they didn't.
Actually, I think some of them just never paid attention, didn't realize what was happening.
Well, there's this, the small version. Let me go back to it. I've only got 3 frames of this, and of course, it popped up right after we talked about it, and then you was able to find that they're researching it. Huh? Some of these come down at what speed? Near 100 miles an hour.
Some of them can reach speeds of 100 miles an hour. That's been measured, but they average about 45.
I've noticed them probably 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock, something like that, if they show up on the radar. And I have to wonder,
It looks like there's one down in Tennessee, and there's that one that seems to show up right outside of Lexington.
Yeah, you've seen them before. Okay, that's what I know.
And I've seen them in Colorado, outside of Denver and Colorado Springs too.
Kind of on the plains, on the flat area.
In the flat area of Colorado, the Eastern Plains. That's right.
That's what made me think there was some kind of heat rising out, with moisture showing up. But when you called them air bombs, it was like a light went on. I'm like, oh, wow. Because I've looked at a lot of these, but I never took a lot of screenshots of them. And they seem...
And I was surprised when the military told me that's what it was. That's what they're calling them. They're calling them air bombs because they kind of come out of nowhere, and they're very forceful. And they told me you wouldn't want to get caught under one in a small airplane,
Yeah, like a Cessna, or even if they, like in this radar view, they may be kind of mixed in with storm cells, and I have to wonder if they wouldn't contribute to these so-called compression events or microbursts.
Microbursts, yeah. If you have a natural microburst happening from a thunderstorm and one of these air bombs happens to get mixed in, then it really intensifies it.
I think so, and I have to wonder about because I think these were occurring, if I remember right. I don't know if the National Weather Service or the Navy or anybody keeps a radar recorded. I know they can. They've certainly got the capacity at Bluffdale to have just the entire web backed up. But that storm that hit Paintsville and Menifee County that knocked the church steeple off within a few
and I know
hours.
They do log certain things because once in a while on the Weather Channel they'll go back and replay Hurricane Katrina and Sandy and all that. So you know they do log this stuff.
Yeah.
And of course they're showing the radar, so it is a form of keeping track of it.
Oh, I've seen them do like a month in review
That's right.
a storm review panel on the Jackson Weather Service office. So they may know. Somebody may know what's going on here, but they don't say anything. They don't want to panic the public if there's a, 60% increase in cosmic rays, and this is actually what's going on, and they're trying to get, the carbon credit, Chicago Mercantile Exchange up and running, or I don't, there's a lot of stuff we ain't, as the saying goes, we ain't old enough to know about it.
Yeah, and they don't want to ruin their carbon game plan and stuff. Most of these guys have an idea what some of the real reason is for these really hot summers we've been experiencing lately. But like you said, they don't want to cause a panic and stuff. And technically, what I get sick and tired of hearing is we got to find a way to fix this, and you can't. What's happening is going to continue to happen until we get into a cooler regime down the road.
Yeah, I think that if there is a solution, they're not really, the best and brightest minds might be working on it instead of paying attention to this carbon stuff and arguing that cosmic rays can't cause cloud cover. But there's a ridiculous amount of methane locked up in frozen tundra if we do have a warming period.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I was looking at when I was gone away in August, and there is much more methane being released into the atmosphere, and they are saying that's the reason why the Arctic had 18 days of 90 to 92 degrees in July this year, and they had a few 90s last year, and they expect that to continue. And then every summer as it gets warmer up there and there's more permafrost melting, and when permafrost melts, it releases methane, and it's starting to show up in a lot of the northern lakes now. They're having little bubbling situations, and they went over there, and I told you that guy that discovered it by accident, he didn't know what was going on. He was a fisherman, and he lit up a cigarette, and it flamed up around him.
I was paddling out on Cave Run Lake at a certain location, and I come across something bubbling up out of the lake, and I thought, well, man, that's it was kind of where a couple of river channels come together, and I theorized that it must have been a lot of leaves and decaying biomass or something like that, and I got to talking, and just by coincidence, this old guy that used to work in the gas wells said, nope, that's one of them wells. That guy he got paid to go out there and cap all them wells, and he laid drunk and didn't cap those wells, and so there's all kinds of natural gas just being wasted over there around Cave Run Lake. It's been bubbling up, just like they have in Alaska. They've got 48 now modified 747 jet turbines since probably around the time the Alaska pipeline and all those wells were drilled. They're pumping, billions of cubic feet of natural gas back into the formation, which may help, extract more oil. I don't know, but there's a lot of, where's it going to go?
That's right.
Seems like
if you look at the radar, some of this moisture that's coming up from the south and over to the west of us there, this is offshoots from tropical depression now, Gordon. And they got flood warnings out for Iowa and Wisconsin again. Their ground is so saturated, and it's all it takes is just one good shower, and they got flooding going, and they're expecting 2 to 3 inches of rain up there.
They're showing in tonight's map, I think if I've got the latest one, they're showing it along the Louisiana Arkansas border, but it looks to me like the center of rotation is farther to the east. They're showing it kind of in the tri-state area, but the radar kind of shows it center.
Right, and so far the history of this storm is the heaviest moisture has been east and north of the center, not a whole lot to the west, and that's some of that you're seeing in Tennessee there. That's all related to Gordon.
Yeah, I said it was going to hit Nashville, that they needed to be baptized for some of the stuff they've been putting out in the music.
Yeah, and they're getting it.
I need a good washing. In Memphis,
that's some of the moisture, and that's going to be working in here over the next couple of days. It's going to be related to Gordon, and then as we get to the end of the weekend and into Monday, the moisture will be more related to the cold front that's coming in.
Well, anyway, I forget there was something else I was going to say there on our weird weather topics that we like to get into, but you got to go?
No, we got a couple
Okay.
minutes.
Oh, okay. I just what I was getting at with methane is about 2002, 3, 4, somewhere in there. I heard on the media, and I put it out over the air, that there's going to have a Perseids. I think it was a Perseids or the Geminids. I can't remember which meteor shower. And I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I got up, and it was the most spectacular thing I've ever seen. I don't know how many thousands and thousands of tons of some kind of comet tail dust was coming into the atmosphere, and it was coming down and fractionating in 2 and 3 and 4 pieces, and I swear I could hear something, and I thought, well, maybe I'm just, maybe it's psychosomatic. I've seen too many Star Wars movies, but I swear it was like.
You probably could. If there was that many, there's no doubt you could hear something, especially if it was really quiet and silent and the atmospheric conditions were right. You probably did hear it if there was that many.
After the sun came up, I drove to work that morning. It was in the fall, so I think it was the Perseids.
Yeah, right, Perseids,
maybe the Geminids. I don't know. It was way up in the fall. And it was getting twilighty, and the smoke trails were phenomenal. It was like those, you shot off bottle rockets and leave little smoke trails. Well, these were coming down.
Right.
Now, if we're looking at methane and stuff coming, to the atmosphere, how much does that represent? How much is the Earth vacuuming up? Probably not as much as it did, say, 10,000 years ago, but...
Right, but it's still doing some.
Yeah, it's got to be adding something to the greenhouse gases. You reckon they've ever even looked at that to figure that out? How much is that contributing?
Maybe silently and quietly and stuff, but they're becoming more and more aware that methane is becoming a bigger problem than anything we imagine with carbon. You got to remember, methane is 5 times the warming gas than carbon is.
Well, there's been tales of, blocks of ice falling out of the sky in Ireland and Scotland and stuff like
That's
that.
Right.
What the heck is that?
I couldn't tell you, but anything's possible. When it comes to the weather and the atmosphere and the dynamics of the planet, anything's possible.
Well, there's tales of fish falling out of the sky, and of course over.
That is true. I've seen that.
Oh, okay.
That is true.
A water spout or something sucks them up.
Yeah, there's an explanation for it and stuff, but fish have been seen falling out of the sky, and those are true stories.
Now, the meat falling out of the sky over in Bath County, that one's kind of like, what?
Yeah, that might be a little oops, what?
What? Yeah, the plausible theory I've heard about the meat legend in Bath County was it was a flock of buzzards, and they are prone to have a simultaneous upchuck if one of them ate something that was bad.
Okay, sure, why not?
They all, just like humans, if you see...
Yeah.
You remember that in school, right? You got they put the crumbles down on some kid lost their lunch, and then you begin to associate the smell of the stuff that they put on there.
That's right.
It becomes like a conditioned response, Pavlovian or something. You don't smell the whatever they tossed up. You smell the stuff they put on it. It smells worse. Anyway, I don't know what they do nowadays, but that's what they did, in ancient history. But
that's right.
Anyway, I don't know. We can get into all kinds of weird topics when we go off the beaten path there, shall we say? But I'll let you go tonight, Weatherman Gene, and we will chime in with you later this week, I hope.
I can't say if I'm going to be here in the morning, but I will definitely be here tomorrow evening.
Well, the one thing I wanted to mention, too, is we'll be looking forward to getting you that printout so we can try to do some prognosticating or long-range forecasting might be the better term to use, since some people have read that in their Bible about prognosticators.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
And, what this all leads to is just what the dynamics of the atmosphere and the ocean currents dictate the trend might be. And it's a trend towards temperature and precipitation, and it's based on 90-day outlook, so it gets updated through the course of the fall.
Yeah, this is not fortune telling with the crystal ball, as we
no crystal ball involvement.
Just lots of hard data that's brought to you by the government.
That's right. Yeah, it's actual science fact of the principles of the trends that are happening, and then we just wait and see how the atmosphere plays out.
It's like everything from soil moisture to ocean temperatures at different depths in both oceans, and
that's right, because it all comes into play. Like I said, there's negative and positive phases in both oceans. Then you got La Nina, El Nino Nino, and all that dictates what kind of winter we're going to have.
What about stratospheric dust or something?
That too.
Do they factor that in? They
So, yeah, if there's enough, everything gets factored in.
Well, we'll be looking forward to looking at that coming up, and maybe you can tell us whether or not the woolly worms are right, or if the whatever other nature signs are lining up.
Yeah, the woolly mammoth, that's what we call it, Native American, the woolly mammoth worm and caterpillar, actually. And around here, they start to come out towards Halloween, and you really start seeing them in November.
I remember seeing one that was several years ago. I think it was all black, and man, it was a boot scooting it south. And I thought, it's not a good sign. And that was the first year we had the minus 20 temperatures that I'd never experienced.
That's right. And the more black you see on them, like last year, we had that 7-week stretch where it was pretty chilly out. I mean, no below zero, but it was just constant cold. And the caterpillar signaled that it was going to be a fairly chilly winter, at least at the beginning and in the middle, and that's what happened.
I'm going to sharpen the chainsaw and get her to start cutting wood here pretty soon.
Yep, not too long now.
I don't mean me, I mean her.
Oh,
The women supposedly like it cooler in the air conditioning, but in the winter they seem to need it warmer. Have you ever noticed that?
that's true. That is very true.
They have a reduced temperature range. The fairer persuasion has to be kept in more climate-controlled conditions.
Yep.
So anyway, I'm about to put her to work getting some more wood in. There's what was the other thing I was going to mention to you? I can't remember. Anyway, we'll try to get you that data, and you can crunch some numbers for us, and maybe the next couple of weeks we can get an early preview, perhaps, of what the winter is or what.
Yeah, and then there'll be an update. Like if this one comes out and it's recent, like the 90 days just started, then we'll have the final outlook and a more definitive outlook for winter come sometime November.
Yay! All right. Remember the 5th of November. We'll try to get it by then, hopefully. In case.
That's right.
Yeah. You haven't seen V for Vendetta? We were talking movies. You haven't seen V for Vendetta, have you?
No.
Yeah, Guy Fawkes Day, the 5th of November. That guy, that guy was a character.
Yeah,
anyway,
sounds like it.
All right, we'll talk to you later, man.
All right, have a good night.
You too. And Gene the Weatherman there for you with some, we'll call it forecasting, or chattering on about the weather anyway. We got definite maybe Friday, and for rain, flip a coin Saturday night. Cooler temperatures after the Gordon gets done running around here. Ugh, what a muggy day. As you can see, the air is just coming straight up from, I don't know, it's way down in the Gulf somewhere, that moisture, warm, moist, tropical air. Ugh, that's the muggy. Something like that. I think they've got good air conditioning down at the Advantage Chiropractic. Hint, hint. Everybody I talked to really is glad they went.
Whether you are a weekend warrior on the ball court, hurt at work, or in a wreck, you need the Advantage Chiropractic for basic massage to traditional adjustments. Advantage Chiropractic has the specialized equipment, qualified staff to keep you on track, on schedule to your advantage. 780-7400. Most all commercial insurance is accepted, and Medicare and Medicaid. On-site X-ray is available across from Wholesale Auto Parts, west of Wendy's on West Main, downhill from the courthouse. Call 780-7400.
At Bypass Pawn on Flemingsburg Road, you'll find just about anything you're looking for. DVDs, video games, car stereo equipment, phones, tablets, sporting goods ranging from firearms, hunting bows, and fishing rods. Check out our selection of guitars and amplifiers as well. And a wide array of selections from the jewelry box. For more information, call 606-780-7296.
In Globe, you'll find a fixture of over 5 decades that generations of customers trust for their tire and auto needs. From farm equipment to the family car and all in between, you can
help them reduce mosquito habitat and keep the big wheels rolling and moving on. If you got some steady hands to load that haul behind, they can keep it rolling for you. Big wheels on the trucks or the farm or the back 40 in the gravel yard where the work is very hard. The DOT will let you be. If you see Porter Tire, poet and don't know it, ain't I? Anyway, 800-400-4485, and I did have somebody earlier this year say that they looked around town. People was telling them, oh, you can't get those no more, and Porter Tire had them in stock. So check with them. If they have to, they'll get on the phone and get it to you in a day or so. But of course you can get in with their program here, and they'll keep the work stoppage to a minimum with spare tires on hand, or they'll get there with them. 286-4484 over in Globe, and I don't know, in a couple of years, that'd be 6 decades they've been in business over there. So I don't know how many years and years of experience, if they add it all up, what they got over there, but you can help them reduce the mosquito habitat with some used truck tires. That's what I like. But of course, they got that mulch, So the mulch is available as well. We do have some area events real quick we'll tell you about. A couple of things coming up in the not too distant future, if not sooner. Fall into the holidays. A craft bazaar, September the 8th. That's this weekend, 10 till 3 at the Carl Perkins Center, sponsored by the Round County Homemakers. And you can contact a couple of numbers here, 776-4297 or 783-0426. There's also the library's children events, teens and adults events. There's something called the Banned Books Bash coming up September the 27th. I'm going to have to get my copy of Yevgeny Zemyatin's We and go get my mug shot taken. All you'll be able to see is my eyebrows. Maybe I'll have one pupil peeking out over the top of it. I mean, everyone's invited to stop by the library and get your mug shot taken, share with others what banned books you've read. That's the first one that came to my mind, was Yevgeny Zemyatin's We. Anyway, I'm sure there's some people that like to give me a laser lobotomy, if you know the story. Anyway, that's from like when did he write that? Like 1915 or something? He got banished. It was banned from the Soviet Union until after it fell, I think. Refreshments, and you may even win a door prize. That's coming up September the 27th at 5 p.m. There's a spooktacular craft night if the banned books don't spook you enough. That's coming up on October the 2nd. Baby sensory playtime, September the 22nd. Bring your newborn to 18 months, birth to 18 months old. They do bubbles, music, water, things to touch and feel and crawl through and stimulate the dendrites growing there. Stop by, and anytime that's from 10 a.m. till noon, let your baby explore with all their senses. September the 22nd from 10 till noon. Stop by and get these flyers and a schedule, or visit their webpage. They're on Beacon Hill, down the hill from State Police Post. Turn right, and then left up the hill, and when you get on the porch, you look over your shoulder, you'll see Northcutt & Son, a home for funerals, across the way there on the corner with Fraley Drive, just off exit 137 here in Moorhead. And I think we do have one obituary to tell you about on their webpage. Of course, you can also get some information about monuments and pre-planning. And Gregory Dean Eversole, their most recent posting there, age 61, of Highway 801 North. And that's kind of in the Farmer Sharkey community, I think. He passed away Sunday, September the 2nd, at the Wood Glen Alzheimer's community in Dayton, Ohio. August the 5th, 1957, he was born in Middletown, Ohio, the son of Wanda L. Eversole of Moorhead. The late Richard, or Dick Eversole. Besides his dad, he was pursued to death by an infant son, Dakota, back in 1995, in addition to his mother and stepdad. That's David Daniels Moorhead, whom he lived with for many years. He's also survived by 2 daughters, Elizabeth Eversole of Richmond, Deanna Eversole of Lexington, 2 granddaughters, or 2 grandchildren, that is, a sister, Dr. Brigitte Eversole Coulter of Danville, 3 half-sisters, Emily, Morgan, and Brooklyn, all of Moorhead, and several nieces and nephews. He graduated University of Breckenridge School in 1976, attended Moorhead State University, was a jewelry and antique dealer, and he was of the Christian faith. A 7 p.m. Funeral service with a visitation prior. Mark Caldwell, the clergy officiating there, and the burial follows in the Brown Cemetery on Friday, September the 7th at 10 a.m. just west of town. There's visitation, again, like I said, 5 to 7 prior to the services at 7 at Northcutt & Son Home for Funerals on Fraley Drive, just off the interstate. And you can take a look at some recent obituaries as well as what I like to call their decision tree. There's a few things, more than a few things maybe you want to consider there, and study up on it and have a chat with them about pre-arrangements. That's the gift only you can give. Since 1976, serving others as we would like to be served, from their location at Fraley Drive and Route 32 off exit 137. For information on current obituaries as they are announced, sometimes a little bit ahead of the internet, 784-3300. And you won't have to use a lot of data on your phone to do that. If you have a data plan that is choking you, you can use that service. A service brought to you by Northcutt & Son Home for Funerals. Have a great evening. As I like to say, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Our webpage, tv10morehead.com.
Not all funeral homes are alike. It's important for families to know that there can be a big difference in service, facilities, price, and dedication. At Northcutt, you can be assured that your every wish will be provided for by a professional, conscientious staff in a home-like atmosphere. In the Moorhead area, when the best of care is important, rely on Northcutt & Son Home for Funerals.
Whether you are a weekend warrior on the ball court, hurt at work, or in a wreck, you need the Advantage Chiropractic for basic massage to traditional adjustments. Advantage Chiropractic has the specialized equipment, qualified staff to keep you on track, on schedule to your advantage. 780-7400. Most all commercial insurance is accepted and Medicare and Medicaid. On-site x-ray is available across from Wholesale Auto Parts west of Wendy's on West Main, downhill from the courthouse. Call 780-7400. In Globe, you'll find a fixture of over 5 decades that generations of customers trust for their tire and auto needs. From farm equipment to the family car and all in between, you can get what suits your needs on US 16 Globe, west of Olive Hill, east of Moorhead. Call and check their prices, 286-4484 or 1-800-400-4485.
It's round, rubber, and rolls. We've got it at Porter Tire.
EPA-approved mulch, too, for playground equipment and landscapes.
Well,
Bypass Pond.
hey, don't forget Tuesday nights at 6:30. It's facebook.com/Bypass Moorhead for their live auction, and they tease a few things there for you at noon during their deal of the day. Deal of the day comes your way from Monday through Saturday, unless there's some major holiday. Yeah, 780-PAWN. Except during the auction, they don't take calls during the auction for bids. You have to log into your Facebook, but you can watch it on select Tuesdays here on TV10. Faith and History, talking about some of the founding documents of some of the several states, which you might find surprising. Some of the folks had to affirm that they believed in the Creator God and stuff before they could take their seat as a representative.
Famous senator, and Daniel Webster was an old man. He was once asked what the most profound thought was that ever went through his mind, and he responded by saying, "My accountability to God." Well, stay tuned for our next segment, where we're going to have a presidential quote that you won't want to miss.
Ronald Reagan stated on August 23, 1984, "The frustrating thing is that those who are attacking religion claim that they are doing it in the name of tolerance. Question, isn't the real truth that they are intolerant of religion?" Now William Federer brings you his well-researched book, Backfired, and see how America got to the place where the faith that gave birth to tolerance is no longer tolerated.
Daily, we hear news reports of lawsuits to stop prayers at graduations and football games, lawsuits to stop Christmas carols or patriotic hymns.
Out of Kentucky, but folks, we still got a lot of work to do. My region of Kentucky and yours throughout of eastern Kentucky is seeing the depopulation of our population because of the downturn in the coal economy. We have got to continue to invest in eastern Kentucky. We got to continue to make sure that our people have the same hope and the same opportunity as they do any other place throughout Kentucky or any other place throughout America or around the world. I have always said that economic development is not an overnight deal, it's a 30-year investment. And we've made that investment in Eastern Kentucky with better roads, with better opportunity to get a quality education, with the opportunity of a workforce that is second to none. I'm excited about our future, but we got to have somebody focused on our future that understands Kentucky. Folks, I'm Kentucky from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, and I'm proud of it. And I look forward to working with you in the future. We've got a lot of good work to do together in this community, and we got a lot of good work to do throughout our region, and we got a lot of good work to do throughout Kentucky. Thank you for letting me be a part of your community. Thank you for the last 31 years believing in me in the Kentucky House of Representatives. The first night I was elected, my dad, who's an old school teacher and an old basketball coach, he stopped the celebration to look across the table that first night. He said, now that you're elected, you got to produce. You got to get it done. Well, we worked together to get it done up to this point, but we got a whole lot more to get done. Lord, thank you for the work you do for this community. All of you that every time I walk in this building, that I see your faces here to make sure that this facility is the best it can possibly be for this community and our entire region. Thank you. For those that volunteer here and at this fire department, it wouldn't happen without you. For those of you that are coming back here today that went to school here and you're celebrating this reunion, congratulations. Let's preserve that culture and that heritage that we've enjoyed in the past for future generations to enjoy in the future. Folks, I think the fight's worth fighting for a better Kentucky. I look forward to fighting that fight with you. Thank you all for having me. I appreciate it.
Please help me before we begin that. Let's give a hand to the next governor of Kentucky.
Yeah, he didn't get here in time. He should go here.
Okay, we got two of the Bowen boys here. Would you all come up here? I want to say something about Sam Bowen, their dad. A couple of years ago, we established a park right down here to left, and it called it the Sam Bowen Park. Sam Bowen worked at the brickyard. He took care of the park we had. He drove the school bus when I was coming to school, and he was my bus driver. We didn't have no problem on the school bus. Because all he had to do was just look around for somebody to get laugh. Everybody loved him. And he was my Sunday school teacher. Out there in Nazarene. Yeah, we all went to the Nazarene church, and he was right there with us every Sunday. I think there was 12, 13, 14, 15 in the family, right? And 10. Sam was a great bus driver, and when we got ready to build a park, I thought, he's a man that needs to be named after. He was a janitor here at school, drove the school bus, took care of the brickyard park, did all kind of other things, plus raised a family of 10 people. That's something. So I know he's not with us today, but in Sam Bowen's memory, let's give him a hand right now. When we dedicated the park, I think we had about 20 Bowens this year. We had more here that day than we've had since 1950. We did have a good group that day. Oh, yeah. We got a lot of prisoners. They helped me years and years ago. Donnie used to send them up here, keep the cemeteries clean. And we had some up last week, and they did a lot of cleanup around here. Good boys. And I eat with them, sit down and talk to them, and thank them for what they've done. And they really appreciate that. So appreciate what the jail has done for us over the years. Well, we could go on and on and on. But I thank every one of you. Is anybody here today for the first time that ever attended a Haldeman Reunion? First time? Okay, then we've honored him twice, right? We have a Middleton young man here today. Would you stand up? Middleton? Yeah, he was in school when I was down there. How many here that was there when I was a guidance counselor? Would you stand up? Let me tell the one that's taking the pictures today, they were all outstanding students, okay? Every one were outstanding students. Okay. I want Lansford to come right now and dismiss us, and we're over for this year. Lord willing, we'll be back next year same time.
It's been a wonderful day here. I'm sorry that I was late getting here. My wife, she got high real bad. Some of them had already left when I got here. We are truly thankful to be here. And thank you, each and every one of you, that's come this way. Praise God. Always pray for the sinner here. Praise God. Amen. And all the workers here. And we thank the Lord for what He's doing here, the school program, and all that. And we thank the Lord for Brother Harry Clark here today, too, that helped us when we first got this started here. And Brother Nichols, now that we had to clean up, after the fire back here, and a lot of people have stuck hard in this, and how we appreciate that. And and young people here today, and just like I say, we need help here, praise God. And volunteer help, nobody, like Brother Oscar's already said, nobody gets a salary or anything like that. And we have to be real strict about the money because we have insurance to pay on it and payments on it and all this, and everything. And so we just know this, the checkbook is what's very close, okay? And we appreciate all of you that's donated to this center here. And so we put there was a lot of work, a lot of volunteers, the fire department came up and helped clean this place up and everything, and there's a lot of mopping and buckets of material, and they made it possible the county paid for that, for the dumping. I forget how many dump loads there was, everything that went out here, but to make this a community center, And we're blessed to have a community center right here in all over Kentucky. Praise God, amen. And there's a lot of different events that goes on here. We've got where we have a May reunion here, and other people have reunions here, and weddings and things like that, And so we're blessed to have a community center right here in our community. Praise God, amen. And so we're going to just say a dismissal prayer here. Dear Heavenly Father, as we come to you once again this day, Lord, with thankful hearts, Lord, dear Jesus, Lord. And thank you, Lord, for each and every one who's made it their choice to come this way today. Dear Heavenly Father, for the reunion, Lord, for the revival, Lord, dear Jesus, Lord, Heavenly Father, Lord, and know that all of us are getting over, Lord, and thou knowest, dear Jesus, Lord, and Father, Lord, for the continuance of the work here. Father, we thank you for all the candidates this year for the betterment of Kentucky, dear Jesus, Heavenly Father, and for the betterment of this community here, dear Jesus, Lord. So go with each and every one of us to our separate homes and